welcome back to my channel. I just thought I would come on here to talk about all things dog grooming and therefore to touch on a few things I wish I knew before becoming a dog groomer. Tip number 1. This is a career just like many others where you never stop learning. You might have graduated from school, and I graduated at the top of my class, but that does not mean that I am not constantly keeping up to date with different grooming techniques, different skills, different tools, tricks of the trade. And a great place for you to continue learning is through grooming seminars or going to dog shows. You can keep up to date with the newest kind of breed standards that are out there, as they do vary from year to year, and over several years a lot can change. There is so much to continue learning about, and that is the one great thing about going to these grooming seminars. You can learn about new tools, new tricks of the trade, business advice for any of you budding groomers who want to run your own shop one day. These are great places for you to learn all that type of information. Also, I do highly recommend listening to your mentors. A lot of you baby groomers, I was one myself at one time, when we come out of school we think we know everything. When we get into a salon, there is going to be so much you are going to learn on the job. Listen to your coworkers, listen to your mentors. They're not ever trying to critique you in a bad way or criticize your work. They just want you to become the best groomer out there, and they're basically passing on their wealth of knowledge to you. Tip number 2. This is a very physical job. You're going to be on your feet for long hours every day. You're going to be lifting very heavy dogs, and in addition, there are going to be times you are going to be restraining or wrestling, depending on your way of looking at it, certain dogs on the grooming table. My first tip for being on your feet all day: have comfortable footwear. Do not wear the most fashionable shoe. Do not wear flip-flops. I speak from personal experience. Learn to wear comfortable shoes even if they are not attractive. You will thank yourself years down the line. I myself currently have issues with my feet, and I've had to train myself to groom sitting instead of standing because I did unfortunately not take care of myself properly when I was younger. In addition, take advantage of the chiropractor. The chiropractor and the masseuse are going to be your best friend. Again, taking care of your body means you can stay in this career a lot longer. Tip number 3, this can be an extremely emotionally taxing job. Not every day is going to be a great day. There are a lot of difficult dogs, and this here can lead to something called caretaker fatigue, which eventually can lead to severe burnout if you're not careful. What you need to do is find different ways to cope with difficult days and difficult dogs, whether it's listening to relaxing music, whether I like to personally put on some nice essential oils, lavender, which can make a much more calming environment for both you and the pet. Just make sure with the pet parent they're okay with this. Most pet parents don't mind. To go along with this, dog grooming is not always easy. You are dealing with a living, breathing creature, and they do not understand they need to sit still at the table, that they cannot wiggle, and the more they fight, the longer the process takes. So you need to keep yourself very patient, because remember, your energy does transfer onto the animal. If you are having a bad day and are irritable, the dog is going to feel that, and therefore they're going to act out, which is going to make you more irritable, and therefore you're going to just kind of create a chain reaction, which is not going to be a positive experience for either one of you. And this also can lead to more difficult grooms with that particular pup down the line, which none of us want. We want to create the most comfortable environment we can for our wonderful companions, as dog grooming is not fun for them. So that's something to think about. Tip number 5, and to go along with the last 2 that we have just previously discussed, accidents can and will happen. Unfortunately, most likely in your early years when you're first getting out of grooming school, there is at some point going to be a situation where you accidentally nick with your scissors or with your clippers the pet, especially when they are matted. This is most likely the time that an accident is going to happen. In these situations, remain calm. First and foremost, call the pet parent, let them know what has happened, and let them know that you're going to be taking their pet to the local veterinarian, or if they have a preference, you can take the pet to their vet and this way the pet gets the proper care that they need from the professionals. I, at this point, will discuss with the pet parent that I will be taking care of all the medical fees, as I do feel horrible about the situation. And by being honest from the beginning, the pet parents are usually very understanding. They know an animal is an animal, that they are going to move on the table. Accidents happen, and we are using sharp instruments and tools to work on their animals. If, on the other hand, you omit and lie about everything, this is where we're finding a lot of social media posts, unfortunately, about accidents that happen in the grooming salon. I myself, as a pet owner, would not want to have to find out the hard way by noticing by myself that my pet was injured. I think I would be very upset about this. So honesty is key in these situations. Tip number 7. Grooming equipment is extremely expensive. I did not realize this when I got into this career. I was very blessed that when I signed up for my grooming school, that part of my tuition is I did receive my very first pair of clippers, 2 scissors, and all the required blades I needed to complete a proper groom. But when I finally moved into a salon and needed to increase the equipment that I had, it was a shock to find out how expensive a pair of shears are. They can range anywhere from a not so great pair of shears around $100, and that can go all the way up to a good quality pair of shears between $300 and $400. A good pair of clippers are usually between $200 and $500. An individual blade for your clippers could be anywhere between $50 and $60. It is paramount that you take care of your equipment by doing weekly cleaning, using clipper oil, getting them sharpened regularly. This here will make the tools last the test of time, but also it is going to show in your grooms that the quality is there. When you aren't using grooming equipment that has been kept in good condition, or you're using poor, lower quality equipment, your grooms are unfortunately going to reflect this. Tip number 8. It's most important to make your client happy as long as it's in the best interest of the pet. If it's just a silly haircut, let the pet parent have it. Do what makes them happy. I know it's going to be silly to do certain haircut, but as long as the pet parent is happy, that is paramount. As if the pet parent is happy, they're going to continue coming back, and you're going to have that continual source of income coming your way. Of course, there are always exceptions to this rule. If you find a request is not in the best interest of the pet, you absolutely need to advocate for them. I have a very strict policy of humanity before vanity. I refuse to put a human's vain interest before the health and safety of your pet. For example, matting. If your dog is matted, and I'm talking severely matted, not just one tiny tangle I can easily brush out, but if the coat is beyond saving, I will only in those situations shave down your pet and start fresh, as hair does grow very quickly. So I do not, under any circumstances, let a pet parent bully me into something that I do not feel comfortable with. So that is one thing I would definitely recommend for you guys. Hold your ground. You know what's best for your pet. You know what is best for the clients, and it is your job as the professional to educate the client. And a little side note to throw into your crazy parent hair requests is that grooming is, at the end of the day, a customer service business. As much as we love animals, and that is the reason we got into this job, unfortunately, you do still need to deal with people, and you'll be dealing with clients on a daily basis. Dogs, sadly, cannot pay the bills. So they're human who usually brings them to the appointment. You need to have a good working relationship with them. And there are going to be difficult and demanding clients out there. It's your job to find a way to work with in order to create a working relationship. Most importantly, guys, at the end of the day, this is an extremely fun and rewarding career. I could not stress that enough. If you have a passion for animals, are artsy and creative, then this here is going to be an extremely wonderful and rewarding career for you. If you have any questions and like this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, as I will be putting out new grooming videos every week on different topics. Have a wonderful night, guys.